And the first over or no overreaction of the night is we're going to talk about the Green Bay Packers, guys. The Green Bay Packers broke a 5-game losing streak to the Dallas Cowboys last week when they beat them in overtime 31-28. And a talk around the Facebook groups that I'm a part of, you know, I'm a master troll there. I plant those seeds here or there and basically let the fans eat it up. And I said, will the Green Bay Packers run the table and make the playoffs? And boy, were the NFC North fans going crazy. Man, they were fighting left and fighting right, and I loved every minute of it, man. I was grabbing my popcorn at work like, man, this is beautiful stuff. But then I got to thinking, looking at the records, just looking at the schedule moving forward for the Green Bay Packers, and I think basically for them to make even a wild card, they're probably going to have to get 10 wins on the season. And right now they're sitting at 4-6, right? Or something to that effect. So they basically need 6 wins in these last, 7 weeks to basically even be in consideration of making that playoff push. So let's look at their schedule moving forward. This Thursday, they do play the Tennessee Titans at home. And then they travel to Philly that just got off their first loss. How are they going to rebound, right? And then they're at Chicago. And then they play a crippled Rams team. And then they play at Miami, which is Miami is a scary place to play because it's at sea level and just the air stick. And for whatever reason, it is really hard to play in Miami. And then they finished 2 home games with Minnesota versus Detroit. So out of those 6-7 games there, they have to win, out of those 8 or 9 games there, they have to win probably 6 games to legitimately make a playoff push. So I have them beating the Titans. I just for whatever reason, Thursday night, I don't care how much better the other team is, the home team always has the advantage. I think I saw a stat last year where 75% of the time the home team wins in a Thursday night game. So I'm going to give the Packers that one. So there's their one. I don't think they're going to Philly. They're not going to win. They're going to beat Chicago, give them 2. They're going to beat the Rams, give them 3 there. They're not going to beat Miami. So that means they have to win out versus Minnesota and Detroit. And guys, right now, Minnesota is the number 1 team in Beastie Combs' power rankings. They just knocked off the mighty Buffalo Bills. They are 8-1. They look damn freaking good. And Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins and Delvin Cook and the whole boys are looking fantastic in the addition of TJ Hawkinson. So that right there, I think that Week 17 matchup versus the Vikings, that ultimately blows out their playoff chances. So I am going to I could possibly see them making the playoffs is that the Minnesota Vikings completely fall off the face of this earth. Right now, they're sitting at 8-1. I think 11 wins is going to win the division, so they legitimately need 3 more wins to basically lock in that division. And let's look at the Vikings schedule moving forward, right? The Dallas Cowboys, possible win. It is a home game. The Cowboys could, let's just say they lose that game. Then they're at home versus the Patriots and Jets. Let's say they lose those games. Let's just be devil's advocate. Let's say they lose those 3 games in a row at home. Then they're at Detroit. Ford Place is another hard place to play. It's oddly very, very loud, just a tough place to play. Okay, they might lose 4 in a row, but then they're going to lose to Indy and Green Bay and Chicago. Like, guys, I don't see any way whatsoever the Minnesota Vikings can lose basically 6 games in a row. Like, they're going to beat Detroit, they're going to beat Chicago, and they're going to beat Indy. I mean, that right there is your 3 wins, and that locks in the playoffs. So it is definitely. I just don't see it happening. And I'm not saying that the Green Bay Packers are a bad team, but they're not very good. We were writing them off into the sunset just Saturday afternoon. 5 losses in a row, and then all of a sudden they beat the Cowboys, and all of a sudden we're talking about playoffs and Super Bowl for the Green Bay Packers. Like, come on. This is the biggest overreaction ever. Calm the F down. The Packers are not making the playoffs. They're damn sure not making a Super Bowl run. Aaron Rodgers they might possibly be in the end of the hunt until week 17, but after that, when the Vikings come into town and whoop that ass. Sorry, guys, for checking out that man-hour clip. If you're interested in the next video, click the link right here. Of course, subscribe right here. And always join us Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. East Coast time, right here where you're watching this clip. And as always, Man Hour Nation, rise up.